So, welcome everyone to our Study Abroad podcast series. So, today we have Sree Renga Harinee from TETR, and we'll be knowing about her journey of choosing the college and her childhood and other things in between. So, welcome.
Hi, it's nice to meet you.
Yeah. So, Sree, first thing I would like to know is how was your childhood like? So, were you like, where were you born and how was your schooling, etc. In few sentences.
Sure. I'm technically from India, Tamil Nadu, but I was born and brought up in Muscat, Oman. So technically, I've grown up in the Middle East my entire life. And yeah, I feel like I've always been interested in different activities. As a kid, I used to do a lot of things. I used to do karate, I used to do swimming, I used to play instruments, sing, dance, lots of things. So yeah, I think that's me in a few words.
So, when you did so many things, then you choose some of the things as your favorite and some of the things you discard also while trying this, right? So you, let's say you did 10 things, so out of that maybe five of them you discarded and then five of them you continued. So at present, out of those 5, 10 things, what are the things that you are still continuing to do?
So, as in my hobbies at the moment in college, I can't really keep it up because, college is pretty intense. But at least in my opinion, whatever activities I do, I try to do it as much as possible. So out of karate, swimming, music, dance, all of these, I still try to do them as much as possible. Once I go back home, I pick up my guitar, try and play it sometime. And I'm a huge public speaking enthusiast. I taken part in international debates. I've been in Harvard MUN. So yeah, it's like, if you pick up a hobby, it's like it stays with you always. It's always a part of you. And as they very famously say, Jack of all trades, master of none is better than a master of one. So yeah,
Sure.
so a part of it is always going to be with me at all
For sure.
times.
So when you were finishing your schooling, did you study in like an international syllabus, ICSE, CBSE, or what was the 12th like?
Okay. So for schooling, I did my high school in CBSE, the Central Secondary Board of Education in India. It was an Indian curriculum, but we have CBSE schools in Oman as well. And I used to be a STEM student, actually. I had both biology and math as my subjects. So physics, chemistry, math, biology, English. So it was pretty intense as well. But I I think I kind of always had business and entrepreneurship in me. All of my extracurriculars are related to business or entrepreneurship. So I found my calling in life like that. And as for schooling, yeah, I used to be a STEM student.
Sure, sure. So from STEM student to like a business student, what was the decision making processes like? Did you have like list of colleges where you applied to, and how did you choose TETR out of all those?
So, as I said before, like business has always been my calling. I was just a little late to realize that. Um, all of my extracurriculars have always been in business. I've been a part of, as I mentioned before, international debates. I was ranked the 12th best debater in India in Enviro Tiger Fest, and so and so. So I've always had that calling, and I was looking for colleges where I did not want to be in one place. I did not want to sit in one place for 4 years and be static about it. I wanted to travel. I wanted to see the world. And I'm sure, Mr. Vishal, I know you've been to a lot of countries. You know the feeling. We know the feeling, yeah? So as soon as I read this program and I saw it has both tech and it has management and business at the same time, and I get to travel to 8 different countries, learn from CXOs, from people from NASA, big people in entrepreneurship, business leaders from around the world, and study around the world, open businesses. I'm currently a founder. I have my own company called Link Marketplace. We sell effortless tech for everyday solutions. And all of these things wouldn't have been possible if I were not in TETR. So, yeah.
And when did you start your company, the one you mentioned just now?
We recently just started. We are yet to launch, but it's on the way. It's definitely on the way. We've just started, yeah.
Sure, sure, sure. And did you had to write any test, or what was the entrance of TETR like? What was the application process requirement?
Okay, so initially I had actually found out about Tether. I was just like scrolling reels on Instagram one night, and I just saw a random ad pop up. I was one of the first few people to apply to Tether. I was round one of the first ever people to apply. So this was way before Nas Daily had come out with videos. This was way before all of that. So I saw this, I said, wow, this looks great. And what do I have to lose? No application fee, no nothing. I'm gonna give it a shot. And right after that, we had to fill out our application itself, which had a lot of like interactive questions and a lot of things to get to know me better. And the next step was to give a TETR test, the TETR trial test. And in that, we had interactive game modules, we had general knowledge questions. So it wasn't really like like a static, like a SAT or like an IELTS. It had everything in it. It had, critical thinking skills. It had general knowledge questions. At the same time, it had like English testing questions. It had a mix of so many things that you wouldn't see coming. Like, what other university has an interactive game module as a part of their testing system? So I got through this level, and then after that, we had an interview process with one business leader or one entrepreneur around the world. I had mine with Miss Ruta Skeriusai. She works in IBM. And after that came the surprising news. We had the fourth session, that was the final admissions process. They asked our parents to join with us and everything. And I was like, okay, they're gonna ask me more questions. They're gonna, tell me more stuff. But Mr. Pratham, the founder of TETR, he joined on the call, and Mr. Vinny, he is a professor in Harvard for so many years, 15 something years. And all of these great people joined the call and they said, Sree, we've gotten into TETR. Congratulations. And I did not see it coming, but it was such a blast. So this was ideally how the TETR admissions process looks like.
And what is the duration of this whole application process? What was in your case, at least?
In my case, after I sent in the application, I could book a slot for the TETR trial, and that is totally, up to you. They give you like from one date to one date, so like a 2 week timeline. You can choose any date between then. For me, the entire thing, I would say, was a month or so.
Okay, okay, sure. So after you got the admission offer, so everything was pretty much online, or you had any physical meet somewhere also before this process?
Before the admissions process, we did not have any physical meetups. It was a completely online thing because this is such a global university, and even the people who are taking interviews and stuff, they're from different parts of the world. So that part of the process was online. But after that, we had a Middle East, North Africa, the MENA region meetup, which happened in Dubai. It happened in NAS House and also in the University of Europe.
So did you
So
attend that?
we got the absolute pleasure. Yes, I did attend.
So
I
was
got
Nas
the,
also called there, or he was not there?
unfortunately, Nas was not available at that time, but we definitely got to meet some of his team, and we were in Nas house for quite some time. I got the pleasure to attend for one day, so I came to Nas house and to University of Europe. So we were also the first people to go see campus with the founder himself. So that was on the top of the pyramid, it was on the bucket list for sure.
How many of you
Mind-blowing
attended that?
moment.
How many of you attended that event?
I think maybe 14. It was definitely under 15 students. All these students in the Middle East and North Africa region, almost all were there at that time. And people had, applied after that as well, so they didn't get the opportunity to attend it. But yeah,
Okay, okay. So that was the first time you met some of your classmates, kind of.
yes, yes, that was definitely the first time I'd met them offline.
Okay, okay, sure. And once your admission, this whole process was done and you had all this meet, when did your classes start?
My classes started, so orientation was from the 2nd of September to the 4th. And classes started from the 5th and they're still going on, the 5th of September.
What's like a typical day in your life at TETR?
A typical day in my life. So classes for us start at around 8:45 and they end around, I would say, 5:15. So we have breaks in between. We have 4 classes, and we also have working hours to work on our businesses on campus as well with our co-founders. So that is there. And after that, we come back, we come to our student accommodation, we come back to our dormitory, and we have, student meetings for the different clubs and for the different like for our business, for the different other groups that we form during class, for different assignments. We go on working after that. So that takes up until 8:39, and then we work on our own, assignments, projects, and do the readings for the next day. So yeah, it's a pretty tight day.
Sure, sure. And what about the food? You have to cook, or is it like mess is there, or like some kind of canteen is there?
So we have, ideally speaking, 3 options. Option number one is that, we could cook for ourselves. That's definitely a possibility. The second option is that we could buy the food. There are lots of like Swiggy, we have Talabat, Kareem, DTC, Noon, and other like delivery apps here that would get us food. On top of all of this, we also have a cafeteria here called My Bistro in our student accommodations. We could get food from there. And, our university is in the World Trade Center, so definitely food is available there as well. On top of all of this, there are 4 or 5 companies in Dubai who provide meal plans for students at a cost per month. So they deliver the meals that you want at the price that you want, and you can pay for like the entire month. So lots of options to choose from.
So does it also make you confused what options to choose?
I mean, if we know what we want, it's not really going to be super confusing. For me, I try and cook most days. If that's not the case, I buy the food. But yeah, for me, I think that's the thing. I don't really know. But like, I don't think anybody is confused here because everybody is a go-getter. They're trendsetters. We're the top 0.12% out of 100,000 people. So yeah,
Which is how many people? What's your batch size?
my batch size is 110 people.
And what is the demographics? Which countries, how many countries are these people from?
So the students are from almost 45 plus nationalities. They're from all continents, maybe except Antarctica, but they're from all continents of the world, from all parts of the world. We have so much diversity here.
Correct, correct. So once you joined TETR and you saw like so much diversity, then are you like are you like forming groups to do these projects together, or how is the group size like?
So for some projects, we do have to form groups for the group projects, and we try and form it with people from like different demographics. In that way, we get to learn a lot about their culture. They get to learn a lot about our culture, and it's really like a bonding process. So yeah, we definitely do form different groups for projects and other assignments.
Yeah, yeah, sure. So all 110 of you are, like staying together and like having classes together? Is that how it is, like as an everyday basis?
On an everyday basis. So we divided to two classes. So like 60-50, so something like that. And yeah, so we're divided into two classes so that, the professors and the business leaders and the entrepreneurs, when they come to teach us, they can give more one-on-one attention, more peer attention per person. So that's how it
Okay.
looks. But everybody does live in the same dormitory. We live in the dormitory called the Myriad. It has a lot of, blocks. So we can definitely fit in here. Yeah.
What about cleaning and laundry, etc., that you have to do by yourself, or is there any help available?
As far as laundry goes, we do have to do our own laundry. Conveniently enough for us, each building, so each block in our student accommodation has laundry rooms. So there's enough for everybody. And for cleaning, the student accommodation itself provides cleaning once a week. So that's
Sure, sure, sure. And you studied at the Indian school back, and now you are at TETR. How do you see the way people teach here versus the way people taught in your school for the time you are here?
So for me, at least in one way, although I went to an Indian school, I'm really glad I got to go to my school, Indian school voucher, because we had a lot of different methods of teaching. We had a lot of extracurriculars. We had really interactive learning and one-on-one attention on all the students at all times. So I'm definitely seeing a lot of that and I was also a part of the first graduating batch in my school as well. So coming to college, it still feels like home to me because I was in Oman, now I'm in the UAE. Not a big difference. And as far as teaching goes, I would definitely say like because these people are super experienced, business leaders, entrepreneurs, and really, really big names from around the world coming to my class, knowing my name, talking to me, addressing my doubts. That's a different level of mind blowing, definitely. And the method of teaching, like, they're an expert when they're so calm and collected and still convey that message, get to that particular point in such a way that it registers to you. So yeah,
Sure.
it's different, but definitely more engaging, if anything.
So all the classes that you have is like the professor or the teacher is coming like in person to teach you all, or sometimes they are doing, they are more like they are online, but you all are sitting in the class in the offline mode.
Most of the time, like 99% of the time, all the professors are offline. Unless they have an unavoidable emergency, only in those cases it's online. But so far, most of our classes have definitely been offline. So, and as we all know, offline classes are more, engaging and interactive in general. So yeah, so far so good.
Sure, sure. And you get like Sundays are off, and can you like, are you allowed to like explore the city or the, I mean, here and there, can you go somewhere or not so much on Sundays?
Yeah, definitely. We can go somewhere on Sundays. We can go somewhere on any day. Since for us, like our university is in the middle of, the city, the heart of the city, in fact. Ideally, after university, if we go from there, it's probably closer for us. But yeah, we do have Sundays off, and some of the days we have like a half day in order to, balance out the days. Not always, but some days. Yeah, we can definitely explore Dubai. I've been exploring Dubai myself, and I gotta say, I love it here. And yeah, I live pretty close by, so it's like living in New Jersey and not visiting New York. It's the same thing for, Oman and the UAE. So for me, it still feels like home away from home, but what's not to love? It's Dubai.
Sure, sure, sure. And what's the sequence of countries you'll be spending your next semesters in the next few years?
Okay. So for in the next few years, we'll be, as I mentioned, traveling to 8 countries. It's span of 4 years. Right now, I'm in Dubai, UAE. The next stop would be India, Delhi, where we'd be studying in IIT Delhi. And right after that, it's Singapore, and there we'd be studying in NUS Singapore. After that, we'd be going to Ghana, Africa. After that, New York, the United States. After that, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. And right after that, we have a term in Europe. The last term would be an internship in a country that, we choose. So that's ideally the sequence it goes
Oh, okay. So last semester is like a secret location.
in. It's secret, even we won't know until for the next 4 years. It totally depends upon what we would like to, specialize in and what we would like to, do after college as well. But an internship semester for us is mandatory, and we'll be spending it in a country of our liking.
Sure, sure. So before TETR, did you also travel to some countries? Like you are a traveler probably. Which all countries did you travel before?
So I've been to 13 countries so far. Not a lot. I could still add on a lot, but as of now, I've been to obviously Oman, India, the country I'm from, the UAE, Singapore, Malaysia, Italy. I went to very recently this summer. I was a volunteer at the International Table Tennis Federation, ITTF, for their World Master Table Tennis Championships that was held in Rome this summer. So I was there in Italy for that. Within that opportunity, I also got to travel to like 7 other countries. I got to go to Austria, um, Le Liechtenstein, France, Switzerland, Belgium, the Netherlands, Vatican. Yeah, I got to get around a little bit. Thank you,
Yeah,
Italy. That got me to other countries as well.
yeah, that's great. That's great. I think your love for travel got extended to your education also now.
Yes,
The learning
definitely.
while traveling program. Sure. And each semester you are going to have like a different theme, like a different business to build, or you'll be building the same business in all the semesters with here and there changes.
So, in each semester, we would be building a different business in a different sector. For the first term in Dubai, we are building a drop shipping business. And as I mentioned, I just started my company with my co-founders. It's called Link Marketplace, and we sell effortless tech for everyday solutions. We're yet to launch it. We'll be launching it pretty soon, so stay tuned for that. In the next terms, we would be launching, for example, a Kickstarter business in Singapore and a D2C or a B2B business, so like a FMCG brand in India, and so on and so forth.
So, and how you found your co-founders? It was like the group that was assigned as a like a study group are your co-founders.
No. So for us, the way we found our co-founders were, we had a mixer where we all gave like a 60-minute elevator pitch of ourselves to different people from different backgrounds. So I'm from more of like an operations background. So I went and spoke to people from sales, from finance, from technology, um, stuff like that, from marketing and stuff like that. So that way we got to interact and engage with all of the different and amazingly talented people, may I say, from my cohort. And that way I definitely found my founders, and they found me. So yeah,
Sure,
that's
sure.
ideally how it looked
So
like.
how many groups are there totally then? Like out of 110 students, like 3-4 people group in like one
It's
business?
uh, groups of it's groups of five. So each company consists of five co-founders. Some groups do have 6 people to balance it out.
Okay, so 5 or 6 people. who are your like a
That's the
teammate?
ideal number. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So this was already like given as a plan also that you have to make a group of five, six people and start your company and like maybe name your company, define a logo, etc., kind of, right? So how did you
Yeah.
decide the name of your company?
So we came up with the name Link because, we wanted to sell convenient technology to a vast audience. Like, we all have tech. Everybody has technology. You cannot live without it these days. And we wanted to sell convenience tech to a large audience. And when we were thinking of names, we were thinking of something, that we could have that is short and catchy and, would stick with somebody. And we call our company Link, like Lynk, not Link. So it's spelled different. But this is ideally how we think we would link innovation with connection in our world, today's world. So yeah, this is how we thought, this was the thought process that went behind the name.
So the people in your class have like probably diversified backgrounds. Are they also different age groups or very similar age groups? Like after 12th, they are joining TETR.
So as far as TETR goes, we have people all the way from 16 and all the way up to, their 25, something like that. And lots of people, like some of them are doing it as their second bachelor's. Some of them, this is like the first time they've come out of high school, like me. I'm 17 years old. Um, and some people have already, had a career in different field and they think business is their calling, so they come to this. But everybody is from a really different background and, lots of cultural diversity and people diversity in general. So yeah,
Sure, sure, sure. And what are your future goals after some years?
I would definitely love to have my own brand someday. Um, but I should say the future is uncertain. Like I don't even know when I'm going to do my laundry next. So how would I be able to predict what I'd be doing in like the next 10 years or so? But like this is an ever-changing world. I really don't know if my predictions will stick, but inshallah, hopefully someday I own my own company that's making a lot of revenue, maybe become rich that process. Um, yeah, have my own brand. That's the main goal for me.
Okay, so coming to the very last question of this podcast, what advice would you give to younger yourself or the people who are aspiring to study abroad, etc., or even aspiring to join TETR? Like who should join, who should not join, according to you?
I don't think there's anybody who should not join TETR, in my opinion. I think because this is such an innovative program that you really wouldn't find anywhere else. And for advice, don't be afraid to reach your goal. If you have an opportunity to try it out. Nothing is, too good to be true until you do it, until you get to it. And as far as I go to, like to tell my younger self, I would say that don't be afraid to leave an impact. And, this is advice I follow for myself every single day. To leave an impact, that could be anything, to leave an impact to my friend, to say good morning, that leaves an impact on her if she was having a bad day. To leave an impact on the world, on a more global level. Maybe in the next 10 years, 15 years, maybe it might happen. But yeah, to leave an impact on myself, to leave a good impact on the world. And yeah, don't be afraid to chase your goals. They will not come chasing after you.
Sure, sure, sure. Thanks very much, Harini, for your time and insights. And our audience would know a bit more about TETR and your experience, and hopefully they'll be a bit more aligned to their goals now. So thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for having me. It was such a pleasure to talk to you, Mr. Vishal.
Okay, bye.
Bye bye.